Squirrels are a category of mostly arboreal
Arboreal.
mammals, all belonging to the genetic family Sciuridae.
Sciuridae.
They are indigenous to the Americas, the Eurasian continent, and Africa, and introduced to Australia by humans. Squirrels have been around since the Eocene, around 56 MYA, as of current data, and have diversified all across the world, taking many different shapes, sizes, and lifestyles. Squirrels are generally small in the size department compared to many other mammals, ranging in size from the African pygmy squirrel at around 4 inches in length to the Bhutan giant flying squirrel at around a foot long, which may not seem very big, but they are as big as a newborn human baby, and the marmot species, which can weigh up to 18 pounds. Now, why don't we move on to how they look? Squirrels tend to have slender, flexible bodies to help with their arboreal lifestyles, featuring long, bushy tails, lengthy front and hind legs, and compact spine which can extend, much like a cat's. They usually have well-padded paws for stealth, both in and out of trees to hide from predators such as birds, foxes, and snakes. A cool fact about their ankles, they can spin around 180 degrees. Their claws are usually long and curved to help with climbing bark, and sometimes used for self-defense. Their tails act as a stabilizer and a parachute with its long stature and bushy hairs, which can be used to glide through the air. They do this by first flattening their bodies mid-air, then puffing out their tail to maximize air resistance, which allows them to glide across areas. However, it is not a perfected ability, as it gives a higher chance of aerial predators to attack. Their heads are round and often shrunk into the rest of their body, with 2 large eyes suggesting squirrels have excellent vision, which is useful for arboreal species. Their paws often have 5 or 4 toes, an opposable thumb, and soft padding. Onto their diet. Squirrels will often be herbivorous, eating leaves and fruits off of their homes. However, on certain occasions, will eat insects in the air or on the tree. This is a case of an animal being a facultative herbivore, in which it will take the opportunity to eat something besides its main diet. Squirrels often live around 5 to 10 years, but in rare cases can live around 10 to 20. Although most don't make it past their first year of life, they are what is called an R-selected species, in which they produce much offspring but do not spend much time raising or nursing the kids, forcing them to fend for themselves. However, they are not as R-selected as other rodents like mice, still somewhat caring for the kids. Squirrels mate around once or twice a year, following a gestation, which means pregnancy, period of 3 to 6 weeks. This cements them in the category of an R-selected species, as they have per litter and frequently mate throughout their life after reaching sexual maturity. They are fed by the mother for 6 to 10 weeks and allowed to leave after reaching sexual maturity at around a year old. Common species of squirrel in the USA are the eastern gray squirrel, fox squirrel, and 13-lined ground squirrel. Some outliers of the species are the marmot, a rather bulky squirrel who has abandoned its arboreal lifestyle and has adapted to an almost fully fossorial burrow-living lifestyle. 3 distinct types of marmot are the groundhog and meerkats. I'm Guy Eating Food, and I hoped you learned something new about squirrels. Facultative stature and bushy hairs, which can be used to glide through the air. They do this by first flattering much offspring, but do not spend much time raising or